out how to kill other people. He says he found himself getting more involved in the war. He says he began to feel excited at the thought of risking his life in fighting. Fujishiro was aware of the insanity of war, but he sealed the thoughts up for a long time in his mind. At the beginning of this year, he became ill and his limbs grew numb. When he felt he wouldn't be able to make shadowgraphs for much longer, he was determined to face his experiences from the war. Fujishiro says he thought he wouldn't mind when he became critically ill. He says people who experience the war are slowly dying off, and he thought he wanted to do something by making shadowgraphs. He says he wanted to express his messages rather than creating fairy tales. Fujishiro visited Kuju Kurihama Beach in Chiba Prefecture earlier this month. It was the first time in 70 years that he visited this place where he experienced the war. Fujishiro says he wanted to visit Kuju Kurihama for a long time, but couldn't. In military drills, he practiced rushing up to a U.S. tank with a bomb in his arms. He repeated the exercise in preparation for a suicide attack. He says every night he would dream of U.S. vessels approaching. He says he always thought the United States would attack today or tomorrow. Old hangars remain at the site. They were built to protect fighter planes from enemy attack. Fujishiro also helped construct.
He watched 2 hangars in the rice paddy for a long time.
The structures remain, but they're covered with tall grass. Fujishiro went closer to the buildings and then left. He says it might be better to sketch from the other side of the river. He began sketching for his future work. He says the countryside in the area is quiet and peaceful, but the war changed the place in a very different way. He says when the war ended, everything went back to its original state. He says nature engulfs everything with the passage of time. by the strong power of nature. He visited the place for the first time in 70 years and seemed ready to make shadowgraphs to express another kind of pleasure of living. He says he experienced the war at Kujikuri and finds the place very peaceful and quiet now. He says as people hand down their experiences to the next generation, he will make shadowgraphs for future generations.
The remaining two hangars are covered with grass and trees, so it's a peaceful scene. Fujishiro takes time to design shadowgraphs based on sketches. What will be the final works like? Fujishiro has depicted joy and value of life in his fairy tales. However, he has not been able to depict his past experiences of receiving trainings to kill people during the wartime. So we are really looking forward to seeing his new works, which will perhaps successfully depict his feelings.
News just in. Shortly past 7:30 p.m., fire broke out at a power cable under elevated railway track between JR Chuo lines Shintachi and Tachikawa Station. 5 lines have currently suspended their train service in Tokyo. This woman says that she doesn't know when she can get home. According to JR East Japan, the lines which have suspended service is between Tachikawa Okitama of Ome Line and also between Haijima and Musashi Ichikawa of the Itsukaichi Line, as well as the number line Tachikawa and Inagi Naganuma Station and Hachiko Line between Hachioji and Komagawa stations. Other than JR East, Seibu Railways Haijima Line also has suspended service between Tamagajosi and Haijima. JR East Japan says it does not know when services can be resumed. Due to a fire that broke out near Tachikawa Station, JR Ome Line has currently suspended the service between Tachikawa Station and Tachikawa Station. And the passengers have been guided off the train that they were on to move to a nearby station. And now the weather. Good evening. And this is Hokkaido. A round-haul net fishing has begun off the coast of Hokkaido. And these are pilchards. A big catch of some 90 tons was recorded today. The fishing boats move to all parts of Japan, but currently they are based in Kushiro Port in Hokkaido, northern Japan. And their peak will reach at the beginning of September. And Kushiro is also covered with clouds, but in Kushiro and Hokkaido, the temperature was low. And as of 3 p.m., let's take a look at the temperature. It was blue below 20 degrees C in Hokkaido. As of 3 p.m., it was 16.5 degrees in Kushiro, the average of October, Sapporo 18 degrees. And it was lower in the daytime compared to the morning. This was due to cool air coming in from the sea. Meanwhile, in Tokyo and Osaka and Kyushu, it was a hot day. Now let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Tomorrow again, it will be a cool day, temperature rising to 22 degrees. But towards the weekend, the wind temperatures will rise in Tokyo and Osaka. The red means that it's higher than the seasonal average, and especially in eastern Japan, western Japan rather, the temperature is expected to rise above the seasonal average due to these 2 typhoons, the 15th and 16th typhoons of the season. We can see that the eyes of the typhoons are very clear, and these typhoons are strengthening the low pressure system, and therefore the temperature is expected to rise towards the weekend. Let's take a look at the path the typhoon is expected to take. They are both powerful typhoons. They're expected to head west, and around Saturday, the 15th typhoon is expected to approach Okinawa and Ogasawara Islands for the 16th typhoon, and people at the coast are advised to watch out for high waves. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather map. Tomorrow in the north and east there will be two high pressure systems, and in between there will be a front, and therefore clouds will cover many parts of Japan, but there will be some sunshine during the day, and rain is likely in western Japan, and localized downpours are expected in some parts of Kyushu.